It's another beautiful autumn day and it's really still today, so I've decided to make the most of the weather and come out into the garden to film what I have been knitting since I finished the Guernsey. So 6 months of knitting. So the first thing I did after I finished the Guernsey was knit myself just a stripy round neck jumper with raglan sleeves, and I just knitted it without any pattern basically. I bought some of this wool, Papataya Angora, 80% acrylic and 20% merino wool. So we'll see how I can wear that, because it feels lovely, but it might be a bit itchy. It's very thin, lovely colours. And I think I don't know if I ordered 4 balls of each colour, or I can't remember. So I've got absolutely loads left over to knit something else with. So that's the first thing I've done, the round neck, the raglan sleeves. It's just, hopefully you can see. So that's the first thing I've done. The second thing was this little top. I found some wool that my mum had given me for ages, years and years ago. She must have stocked this in her shop, and it's called Fluffy. 40 gram balls, and you knit on 4mm needles. So I've got so much of this. But I decided to just design and knit a little tank top to wear on top of a blouse. So it's just plain at the front, and then at the back I just put a rope down the middle. I was quite pleased with this, but the mistake I made was to knit the welts in size 10 needles, and I shouldn't have done. I should have knitted it in the same size as the body, size 8s, and I should have done the welt deep because I wanted a split, but it draws it in. Oh, I also put ropes up each side, just up each side seam. It looks quite nice on. Well, I think it looks quite nice on. So that's another thing to wear this autumn. And then the final thing I've knitted for myself, which was not successful, was it was supposed to be an interpretation on a Guernsey, but knitting Aran wool. I found an old pattern of my mum's, which I'll get out. Just get it out. It was this. And I thought, well, I'll have a go at knitting that and see how it is in comparison to a Guernsey. Well, of course, because it's knitted in Aran wool, it won't be as warm. I mean, it will be warm, but it won't be as warm. And when I was knitting it, I knew it was a big 400 gram ball of wool that I was using, but it had already been used, and I thought, am I going to have enough? I probably will. Anyway, I no way was I going to have enough to do the sleeves. So I found in my stash some of this wool, which is very, very similar. I couldn't get any wool the same in the shops in Whitby. So I got this out. This is old. Lister Lee Target Caftan. And it's really nice. It's a really nice soft colour, and I thought, oh, I'm not going to waste it on doing a jumper with sleeves different colours that I'll just use for gardening. So I decided to just make another top. Whether I'll wear that, who knows. So that's not a success. That's all for me. The rest were things for my grandson. So I'll get those out. This is a little Aran cardigan, which is really nice. And that was knitted in my favourite baby wool, which is Emu Treasure double knitting. And I love this, I love how it knits up. So I bought quite a lot of this, so I've got more to knit with. So that was one thing. Another thing was just a very, this has been worn so many times, just a plain V-neck cardigan. That was so quick to knit, just for him messing around with little wooden buttons. So that's another thing. Next thing was a jumper for playing in, and I can't find this pattern at the moment, but I've knitted cardigans in this for him and jumpers, and it's quite a newish pattern, so I will try and find it, 'cause if you're interested in knitting this pattern, you'd still be able to get it. It's really nice and thick, and just buttons down the back. It's a really quick knit. It has gone a little bit bitty, that wool, but it'll have been worn quite a lot. And then just a white cardigan. I've knitted this pattern so many times, knitted him little baby helmets and things. It's quite a nice pattern, but it's just a plain cardigan to go with most things. And a little hat. My family support Newcastle United, so I put an end to him wearing any outfits with Newcastle on. He's too small, but I have succumbed to a hat for this winter. He'll be old enough to wear one. So just a plain black and white striped hat. And then my favourite one, again using the Emu Treasure, which I've got in, it's like a denim-y and really nice colour as well. So I used that with the white and the light blue and made just a little jumper with a pattern at the top. And it's really nice, and that pattern is from, I have the book here, and I think you might still be able to get it, or if you look on vintage patterns, but it's from Dolly Mixtures, Peter Pan Dolly Mixtures, and there are some, well, that's the pattern, you can see. Really nice, really nice. And then what are on my needles now? I've got I'm in the process of knitting just a plain play out jumper, which doesn't matter if it gets dirty, easy to wash, and it's in this wool, which is knitted up really nicely. You see that? It's King Cole Drifter. It's really nice though, really like it. So that's that one, little sleeve that I'm just finished. And then the final thing is, if I can find it, which is not proving easy, I've only done the back, is another jumper. and there's just the back there, and that's knitted in another double knitting work which is called paint box yarns, and these are really nice. I've knitted lots of stuff in this paint box yarn. I've got lots of yarn to knit with. So yes, I think that is it. Oh, I'll show you when I was going to do the sleeves for this in that wool. I did, I'll just take that off. I knitted the welts in the original and then started with this wool, and there's not that much of a difference, but I think as I would be going up the sleeve, you'd be able to see the difference. And I thought it's knitting up so nicely, the colour. I fancy doing a Fair Isle jumper using this as my main colour, so I'm not going to continue with that. Well, I've finished this anyway, so that's it. So yes, all in all, I've done quite a few things. I don't think I've done any more baby things, but yes, so it's been a good 6 months. Right, I'll put at the end, I'll try and take a photo of each one so you can see in more detail if you're interested. I thought I'd just pop another little video on it to show you that I have finished the playing out jumper for my grandson. It was knitted in this random wool called King Cole Drifter in double knitting, and it's come out really well. It's really nice and soft. It isn't actually a baby wool, but it's really, really nice. And then the other thing I said I would try and find was the pattern for one of the jumpers that I have knitted and shown, and it was this one, and I'm sure you can still get this pattern. So I've knitted all those three, really easy. I haven't knitted the roll neck, but it's really nice. I'd like to, I'll probably do that at some point. So there we go. So here we are, approaching the top of the bank to go down into Robin Hood's Bay. As you can see, it's a very rainy day, and it's quite stormy. This is the North Sea. The rollers coming in. And there's a cottage there which is so famous. That's a famous view really in paintings, but it's always a sunny day with the red roofs sparkling in the sunlight. It's not like that today, but let's face it, this is England. We haven't had much summer. Right, I'll try and go up this little bank and then we will get to the top of Bay Bank, what's called Bay Bank. So we're just going down the bank, hardly anyone around. Usually it is so busy, so we can go down and I'll show you the slipway when we get to the bottom. All the cottages, which are just about all holiday cottages. I'll second those. Look at this view from the garden. shop at the bank before we go around the corner. I don't think any of the shops are open today. I think they'll have given up. Another pretty little street. Corner. It's a tight corner here. Quite often a car meets another car and mayhem ensues. We'll just go down here. And round. Here we are. Cars. Out now. Just pan around. I'll show you how stormy it is. What a contrast. Sometimes the waves get that high. The cottage here. It's not that bad today. So we're going up to what is called the quarterdeck, and it's part of the Cleveland Way. So you would take the path round where the sign was and you go along those cliffs there. So we'll go down these steps. This isn't actually as stormy as I thought it would be. The wind seems to be coming right off the North Sea, but it isn't that bad in essence. Very grey. And that cottage will get the brunt of all the weather. So on that headland there is what a place called Ravenscar. There's a hotel there. It was going to be a new town, I think, but it never got built. Backward shot now from the top of the steps. You can see why people come and say it's beautiful, because it is.